Hey everybody, it's Jenny McGarvey, and I am back with you again today to share how I planned in my classic happy planner. This will be the first week in the This Is Your Year planner, the one that is totally neutral and full of fun little black and white pops, but very, very customizable. I'm sharing with you a few of the items that I've pulled out to work with in this week. I'm going to stick with a black and white and gold theme. I figured with the new year that felt kind of classic and celebratory all at the same time. I'm flipping through the mom sticker book. I was looking for something in particular and I thought that the mom sticker book might have it. It's a good way for you to get a very, very quick look at some of these stickers, maybe even some of the older ones that you haven't had a look at. It's kind of difficult with now having so many new ones to make sure that I kind of have a grasp on what is where. So let's be clear, I probably will never have a grasp on what is where, but that's kind of where the pulling things out in advance kind of comes from, like looking through them before I decide what I want to use, if that makes sense, because then I can maybe spend less time searching. So I'm looking through here for the black and white section just to get kind of a handle on what is in here that is included in that particular color scheme, since that's the one that I know that I want to use for this week. Also, there is a specific quote that I'm looking for as well that I know I had seen, and so I just want to have a handle on it for when I use it later. I'm just writing down cleaning for the day. I used a Wink of Stella Gold. It's just a pen, it's not a brush tip or anything like that if you've seen me use that before. And just to write clean, it's gold and it's glittery, and I'm not going to lie to you, it makes cleaning seem a whole lot more fun. So Monday I had absolutely nothing else to include, which is super exciting, am I right? And even though I did have a to-do list, so I added that with the gold checklist, those are really fun because they've got that gold foil, and so it makes you feel like it's kind of special, even though obviously a to-do list is rarely very special. So that's why I also added that big full box there on Monday, because I knew I didn't have any activities. So it was one of those things that I wouldn't ordinarily do because I don't like to use that much space for decoration at the beginning. But this time it was okay because I knew I didn't have any plans. I used that vertical washi down the entire center strip and went back to select one of these Today stickers. It's black with the white and the gold foil to notate a basketball game for my son. This week I am using a Stabilo pen. I love the tip of it. It's very, very similar to a Papermate Flare. I got a whole big package of them on Amazon, but to be perfectly honest with you, I'm actually only using it because my sons rated my black pens on my desk to use for a board game, so I had to search and find something that would work. This is a Pilot permanent pen. It's a very fine tip that I'm using on one of those older Happy Planner stickers to notate an event. Those are the glossy ones. They aren't matte that you can use any pen on. The Pilot permanent pen has a tip that's very, very similar to a Sharpie Ultra Fine. So if you have a Sharpie Ultra Fine marker, please just use that. You don't need to run out and get the Pilot one. I had just bought them a while back on Amazon to try them out, and I really do like the tip. It has a little bit of flexibility, so I use those. Now you will notice that I am very obviously leaving some room at the bottom of the top box, and at the end you will see why. I'll share that with you, but I wanted to point out that it's all part of the design process, something that I had thought of ahead of time that I wanted to include for this particular week in my planner. Now, I don't have that many activities this week. It's winter break for my kids, and only one of my sons is playing basketball right now, so there's really not a whole lot going on. So I wanted to make note of that as well, since this is a little bit lighter on events and a little bit heavier on decoration than I would normally do. But as I've talked to you before in previous weeks where I have less to document, I love that anyway. It's a lot of fun, and it's a good way to change things up and to try some new things as well. Right there I layered two stickers together. I covered up the words that I didn't need. They didn't fit what I wanted to use the sticker for, and I covered it up with Game Day. Now, while looking at that video, I realized there was a couple of stickers that maybe would have worked better, but that's okay. It's a kind of a live and learn experience, and in the future I will give those a go instead of this one. It's one of my favorite things to do, which is what I did right there on the Wednesday. I like to repurpose stickers. So maybe a sticker says today, and I don't want it to say today. So I just use another sticker to cover it up and make that sticker work for me. Now I'm using that same Wink of Stella pen that I used on the Monday morning section and using a stencil from Scraptastic Club to make a list for my to-dos on Wednesday. Now, a stencil is a really fun way to use pens and to still create something that is very organized and tidy, and you're following a template if maybe you're not into stamping. So it has that same idea in terms of using a product over and over and over again, but you can use pens instead of ink pads and acrylic blocks. I was looking for a sticker that said work in that really cute script, and I couldn't find one. So instead I pulled out the Wink of Stella pen again and wrote that my husband was working this day. I thought maybe there would be a work one and I could just add his name in my handwriting on top of it, but there was not. So obviously I did not do that. I just improvised and I wrote it myself. Now I'm going to do the same thing for Thursday, instead switching up the script and doing script for the word work, and then I will just write his name in my regular handwriting. I didn't want the two to be exactly the same. However, looking back on it, I much prefer my script for his name than I do the word work, so future reference, I probably won't write the word work in script in my planner. As you can see, I do all of my pre-planning on some sticky notes, and that really helps me to stay organized, flexible, and be able to keep track of all of the things for the future while still being able to decorate my planner at the same time. Many of my activities are things I know about in advance and they don't just pop up, and so I would always just have things pre-written in there if I did not use the sticky notes. I do use the Happy Planner sticky notes, but if you wanted to pick some up at Dollar Tree or something like that, you absolutely could do that to maybe cut down some of the cost of the sticky notes. I really like the Happy Planner ones. I'm a big fan of those, and so that's why I use those, but I have definitely tried different ones in the past, and I'm considering using some that I got at Daiso because they are also really good for my purposes. Now here's another example of how I make stickers work for me. That striped box sticker said to do or today or something on it, and I really wanted to notate that it was my son's orthodontist appointment, and I knew that I had a gold tooth sticker that would work in my sticker book. So I just layered that on top of the text, and so you can no longer see the text, and I've made a custom sticker that works for my particular needs. Now, if you're looking for a way to make your own sticker book, I have a video here on my channel that shows how I made my sticker books and might give you an idea of something that would work for you. Now here I just put together two of those little tiny bullet type stickers to notate my son's basketball game, and it's a really good way to use stickers that maybe you're not exactly sure how you would use them. Combine them together. They're kind of plain, and together that they feel a little bit more special. Now here's that quote at the beginning that I told you that I knew I wanted to use for this week. Yeah, I tore it. I totally ripped it when I pulled it up, which is a total bummer. However, it's really not that big of a deal. I still stuck it down anyway, and I just used the cap of my pen to smooth it all out and get some of the bumpiness out of the way from where I tore the sticker. I think that one is so pretty, and I love how it fits right there and covers two little boxes. And I'm going to also work on a little decorating because now I'm at the end of the week and I'm finished with all of my activities and my events. Now, I said at the beginning to you that this was a very light week for me, so I don't have that many activities. So if you're new to the channel, I don't want you to think that my planning is all about decoration, because it's certainly not. I plan functionally and do not consider myself a decorative planner at all, but I can't help it if there's not that much going on this week. I'm using these Bubble Alpha stamps from Sweet Stamp Shop and this Brilliance ink pad. It is a Galaxy Gold. It's pigment, so it does not bleed through the paper. Sorry about that. And I'm going to stamp out the words winter break across the top box, and I'm going to line those up with the bottom edge so that I can keep them straight and tidy. I love this gold ink. It's shimmery and it's pretty, and I don't use it very often because I'm a big fan of the other inks that I use typically in my planner. And obviously this is gold, and I don't use gold every week for my layout, so it doesn't match every week. However, when I do break it out for special purposes, I absolutely love it, and I'm a huge fan. So you can see I broke apart the words. I used break for this second half of the week, and winter is I'm going to stamp on the first half of the week. Again, I'm going to stamp these in the top box, and I'm going to use that bottom line of the top box to line the stamps up so that I can keep them even across the top. Now, I'm not a person who's very good at that. I usually actually make them a little bit wonky and all messed up because I'm not very good at keeping a straight line. But with a guideline right there, I can do a much better job and keep them lined up and looking the way that they're supposed to. Now, I do clean off my stamps when I'm finished using them and put them back in the sheet. However, you don't have to. You could absolutely stamp the excess ink off on a piece of scratch paper and call it a day. I'm really, really messy, and so I know that I will end up with excess ink on my fingers, and then the excess ink will find its way to the page, and then I'll be annoyed about smudges and smears. So I clean them off only to avoid the mess that I will make, but you absolutely do not have to. That's not a must. Now see, I'm really fond of how that turned out. It's really cute, but yet again, it's functional. It notates that it was winter break. I'm going to add a couple more decorative stickers to the left side to balance the decorative stickers on the right side, since that side's so heavy for the decoration. So many great black and white choices. I really am so happy about that because it's such a classic, uncluttered and basic feel, yet it's still really fun and decorative all at the same time. Now I'm going to layer this Oh Hello sticker on top of that full box sticker and also have it hang over the edge as well because I think that that's a really fun way to bring all of the design together. It doesn't stay just straight up and down with the parameters of the lines. I love the hangover a little bit. So I'm going to stamp one last thing on Friday that I had forgotten about, and then also my to-do list as well. Now that box is typically thought of with the circle in the top, and I just rotated it 180 degrees and put the circle at the bottom, and I feel like it kind of fit a little bit better in this particular space like that. But don't forget, you can also rotate it to fit sideways as well. Now I'm going to do one last checklist down at the bottom, and I'm using my VersaFine ink pad in Onyx Black. That is the pad that I use the very most. And just an FYI, I have been using that exact same ink pad since 2011. I've never bought a re-inker or anything like that. So it's definitely going to stand the test of time, and you're going to definitely get your use out of it. Now what I'm doing is pulling out a little stamp so I can notate my meal planning along the bottom using that same VersaFine ink pad because it is just perfect for that. It's crisp and it's clean, and it definitely draws my eye down to where I'm doing my meal planning. Now I'm just going to add one little strip of washi tape, and then that's it. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. And if you enjoyed my video, please leave me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, please leave it in the box below, and I will do my very best to get back to you and answer that. Thank you so much, and make it a great day.